All right. I did the intro last week. Who wants to do it this week?
Okay.
Psych.
Oh, I thought I was actually gonna do it. All right, cool. I'll bow for Val.
Do
Man,
Do
I
it.
tickle myself like
Who,
that.
me or Val?
Nick,
Val.
Nick,
Nick.
Nick.
Don't. Nil, go get Nil. Nick, go get
Nell.
Nick.
The
Go-
fuck is Nell? You called me Nickolas Dombey the other day. Now I'm Nell. God, just because I don't know the goddamn Simpsons things anymore doesn't even give fake names.
Wow. It was like Nick and Val, so I went with now.
We merged. We fucking
A portmanteau.
we Dragon Ball Z danced and fused into one.
Fusion.
Okay, I'll do it. I'll do it. Let me know when you're ready.
It's recording.
He's already recording.
So, yeah.
Oh,
On three,
You
Val.
told me that I have to record.
You-
and
no, I'm.
okay.
Wait.
I just with you. I
Wait,
never
who's
know.
doing it? I was gonna
I'm
do
doing
it.
it.
Val's gonna do
Okay,
it.
Val's doing it. Let Val do it. Fine.
All right.
Okay, so quiet, y'all. Quiet. Hi, everybody, and welcome to this session of Shoot the Shit Saturday. I'm your hostess with the mostest, Valkyrie Grinder, and tonight joining me is Nickolas Zombie. See how
Hello.
I pronounce your name clearly? Haha.
It's supposed to be a shot at me.
God,
Hey,
he
the shoot
always
bitch,
talks.
lace that bitch up and let's go.
Never
I'm just
lets
kidding.
anyone- Hello. Go on.
And then we have, let's see who do we want to introduce next. Espionage DB7.
Yes, it is I. And remember the contractual obligations. I'm waiting for the rest of my intro.
I thought you do your intro.
She is required to introduce
No
me
one has
as
ever
the
done
highly
your intro.
rated, armor-plated,
No one-
imitated,
no-
but never.
None of us have ever said that.
And that will never come out of my mouth fully.
Yeah. I don't think we've ever said
That's
that.
just too much just for me to... No. I'll be getting
got-
so sidetracked.
We got
Anyways,
two more people. Go.
we have Ringleader 064.
Howdy do.
And last but not least, the mighty obsolete 2003.
Now it's fucking mighty. every
I knew he was
fucking
gonna say something.
every fucking week he gets a new goddamn.
Can-
He's like
Can I at least say hello to our viewers?
no, yeah.
Every week you
Interrupt me.
cut poor Oz off.
How fucking rude are you?
Every
You pay me
fucking
all
week,
this,
he's
but then
evolving.
you're rude enough to cut him off before you have the chance.
He's
to
evolving.
Say hello.
He's
Let him
evolving
say
into
hello, then complain.
he's
Hello, all our fans. And
your
All
fans
is well.
apparently. Only your fans. For your only
We
fans.
have a fans only.
What?
Only fans, you mean?
I swear it wasn't a fans only. I could have
only.
sworn. I have like
Only.
this. I have this. We're never on the rails, so I don't care. I have this like Mandela effect where I swear it was fans only. I could have sworn fans only was the name of the site.
Obs is evolving to the point that that one of these days we're gonna have to introduce him on this thing, and he's gonna be like fucking Apollo Creed from Rocky 4, where it's like, the Count of Monte Cristo. I don't even remember all the names, but the dude gives a fucking long ass a litany of names to introduce Apollo. Rocky's like, hey yo, you got enough names? Patience, Stallion, they're almost done.
The Dancing Destroyer, the King of Sting, the Count of Monte Cristo.
Yo, you think you got enough names? Patience, Daddy. Almost done.
Fucking Oz is
know
gonna be like the mighty America's favorite gamer, the global icon, the one who can do no wrong. It's like, what the fuck? He just sits there. He doesn't do anything.
So you know
Oh,
how
so
you
good.
have your intro? This is gonna be his. He's gonna write down all the list of his names, and he's gonna be like, "I
You know-
am yo." How he does.
The thing about Obs is he doesn't need to write the things down because he doesn't find his own hype. We hype him up because he's that good. He's just
what?
that good at being Obs. No one's better than being Obs than Obs.
Well, I guess that's
It's true.
True.
So how was everyone?
Good. Thank you for asking, Obs. I really appreciate that.
Oh, bugger off.
He's gonna come to our house and beat us up, all of us. He's gonna find us, and we're just gonna get the S laid down.
All right. Someone needs to hang rings or hold rings. I don't know how the fuck to say it. Let's start talking about stuff.
Hold rings?
Godzi-
Hold rings what? I don't know.
So
Hold rings anything.
we have
We all hold
multiple
rings
topics
emotionally.
We can talk about hot topics, and I'm not talking about the store. Rings, SB, Nick,
Hot
and
topics.
What's recently just came out that we've been dying to have a conversation about, but we've been saving it for today.
I know
Yes,
what she's talking about.
I know what I'm
The
talking
newest
about.
update to Animal Crossing. The Fiesta update. Oh, wait.
No,
Okay.
she's talking about all of the hot boobs in the new Resident Evil or whatever the hell.
Oh, yeah. We're talking about vampire titties.
Yeah.
There
I'm
is
so
an
down.
update in Animal Crossing.
Milf fires.
I'm down for no
Fires.
fires. That was, you know where she stores her blood.
The blood jugs.
Jugs.
Blood jug.
That sounds like a great
Blood
B
jugs.
horror movie.
It sounds like a weird heavy metal.
Yeah, I was gonna say it sounds
Yeah.
like a weird like goth chick metal band.
Sounds right.
Like,
The vampire bar.
yeah, there you go. Hello, Austin. Where the blood jugs? 1, 2, 3, 4. And then at that point, some music would undoubtedly start playing. Anyway, I think I know what she was talking about. The new Godzilla trailer, which we anticipated last week and has come out this past Sunday. Let's talk about it. Who wants to kick us off?
Yes,
Shall
indeed. You do it.
So, I noticed a lot of interesting things in the trailer. First of all, I got to vent about something. You're going to hear a bit of a rant right now. I got to rant.
It's been a while. And by been a while, I mean it's been a week.
So, there's a few YouTubers that I've watched. The one that comes to mind right now, I don't know if you guys have ever heard of this guy named Critical Drinker. Anybody heard of that guy?
No. I know Critical.
No, not Moist Critical. Dude's name's Critical Drinker. He does analysis of trailers, of shows and movies, usually bad ones, and he critiques them. And I find him funny because he has a very thick Scottish accent, and he always sounds mildly inebriated. You know, he sounds drunk.
It sounds kind of familiar now.
Yeah, he's funny. But he did a trailer analysis on the new Godzilla, and on the new Godzilla trailer, and this is the first time that I completely, wholeheartedly disagreed with him, because he's echoing the same sentiment that a lot of other YouTubers, critics, reviewers, all of which are saying. They're saying, it looks like it's gonna be just a big, dumb, clumsy action movie with no plot. The 2014 Godzilla, you hardly even saw Godzilla, and it really nuanced how, you know, the relationship between the humans and how Godzilla was this almost larger than life being that we couldn't even capture the scale of on screen. It was masterful. It was a chef's kiss. You know, they were talking about this, and then, you know, in comparison, when you juxtapose the 2014 Godzilla with the 1954 Godzilla, and then this new movie, it seems like it's gonna be a big, dumb, clumsy monster better. And I'm like, yes, it does. What is it about? Does every fucking movie need to be goddamn Citizen Kane? I mean, I want to see a big, dumb, clumsy monster movie. I want to see Big Monkey fight Big Lizard. Is that bad? No, I'm serious. I mean, I was
We should
fucking...
put that on a t-shirt. Put that on our store.
What?
A big monkey fight big lizard.
Big Monkey fight Big Lizard? Well, okay, who here has a contrary opinion? By all means, if you do, stop me. But it seems like everybody's looking into this and critiquing it for not being something that it shouldn't be. You know, it's like, yes, I'm not looking at this. I'm not going into the theater, hypothetically speaking, or you know, I'm not going to watch this movie with the expectation of hearing, you know, just earth-shattering dialogue.
Yeah,
Or-
they're not going for Oscars here.
Exactly, or looking at the characters like, this character is so developed, this emotional journey that I've gone on with
Wait.
this.
You're saying, like, in the last movie, King of the Monsters, when Godzilla said, "Ah!" That didn't touch you?
I don't think Godzilla ever said that.
I think he did.
No, he didn't.
I remember him looking directly into the camera and being like, "Ah!"
One more time now, please.
Yeah, all right.
How about you?
Shut up. Let me get a. You look directly into the fucking soul of each and every viewer and was like,
Oh god damn, my ears. Why don't you put that on the sound reel, Obs, with your fucking
do it.
soundboard?
I gladly would. Happy if he does it.
Beautiful. That's up there with Esme doing the hiya.
What the fuck?
I don't know if I can reach that level. That's pretty damn good.
Alright, okay. Here's a
So
challenge.
happy.
Here's a challenge for this week. Let's hear everybody's Godzilla roar. Val, I want to hear
Who
yours.
needs voice mom? No.
No, do it. Come on.
Who
Come on.
needs-
You gotta.
no.
I'll do it.
Mm-mm.
Obs will do it. Come on.
Brr.
You gotta do it.
Rawr.
No,
There.
come on.
That's all you get from me.
Come on. Obs, let me hear yours. Come on, Obs.
I must pass.
What?
I will pass.
Fucking bunch of pussy pansy sons of bitches. God.
I'm Godzilla.
Do yours then.
Never mind. Okay.
Whoa, okay. Where's all that pussy pansy bullshit there?
What? Oh, you want me to do it?
Yeah, that's what I said. Do it.
Oh, I didn't hear you. Nobody else wants to. Let me see. What? So Godzilla's original sound effect was made with like the slowing down of the strumming of a cello, from what I remember. A wet bow was used, and they slowed down the sound. So to try to channel that, get the inner diaphragm.
You're gonna splatter yourself some water and Jesus.
I can't. I don't know. I don't know
Okay,
what that was. I don't know.
save that too. Save that too.
That did not come out anything like I imagined it would.
The sound of a fucking whale dying on a beach.
Oh
Or di-
my
at least it wasn't a dying giraffe.
I was really trying to actually plan it out.
That's that,
I was really trying to... Okay.
Oh my god. You know, I have expected you to use voice mod.
Yeah, I thought so too.
I actually tried.
You know,
Because I
if
didn't
I
think
die
you're gonna beat
tonight,
me
I'll
how
be
stupid I sounded, but holy hell.
Focus. So yes, Godzilla. You're pissed because this guy's saying that it's just another monster movie,
I'm
not
pissed because
whatever.
everybody's saying that, and I'm pissed because
Who's saying that? Who are you watching on YouTube?
they're
People
honestly,
I watch are fucking hyped and excited.
well, not only that, but I've seen reviews of like King of the Monsters, and King of
Yeah.
the Monsters didn't do great at the box office, and one of the
Yeah.
main criticisms was that it was a big, dumb, clumsy, high effects movie with very little plot development. I'm like, who the hell needs it? I got Rodan fighting Mothra, I got Ghidorah and Godzilla going at it, I got Fire Godzilla. I don't need much more than that. I'm easy to satisfy when you give me monsters. I love...
The true fans want to see a monster movie. They don't care about the human interaction. They don't care about the drama, the blah blah blah. They just want to see big monsters fight.
There's a scene in a cartoon from a few years ago, or probably half a decade ago, called Gravity Falls, where this old man named Grunkle Stan is sitting and watching TV, and he's flipping through channels, and he's watching two guys, or it's a boxing match, and he's like cheering, fight, 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 and he changes the channel, and there's just two dudes like in a shoving contest, and he's like, fight, 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 and he changes the channel again, and there's two babies in a crib, and he starts cheering, fight, 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 and the babies actually start fighting. And he's like, TV, it knows what I want. That's me. I don't care. Like, fight, fight, fight. I want to let them fight. But let's actually talk about the trailer itself. The biggest takeaway I have is I formulated a theory, which I thought I was being original when I came up with it on Hangouts, but
Nope.
apparently, like, a lot of people have thought of this.
Everyone. Everyone.
Everyone, yeah, pretty much everyone has thought of this. I believe that Mecha Godzilla will make a prominent appearance, possibly being the primary antagonist of the movie. This is backed up by, there is a very short scene where it does look like a Godzilla-esque creature. In the scene where the people are running down the stairs in the subway, they're above their heads. It looks like there is a Godzilla-esque creature with pulsating red light coming out from his neck and his jawline, which could be Godzilla himself, and it could be just that he's gotten, that radiating energy. But to me, it seemed more metallic, and it seemed more like Mechagodzilla. That is further backed up by, at about 1:42 seconds in, there's a part where there's like some sort of blueprint or schematic in the background of one of the guys who's talking, and it does resemble something like a Mechagodzilla schematic. Mm-hmm. So one of the not one of the taglines, but the description that Wikipedia has for the movie says that there is some sort of organization whose goal is to try to wipe out the Titans. What better way to do that than to discredit, for lack of a better term, Godzilla? I mean, Godzilla is basically humanity's hero at this point in the universe. People, I'm sure, love him or whatever. He saved the world from all the other monsters, and at the end of the end credits in King of the Monsters, we find that he's keeping the other monsters in line. So he's kind of become, I'm sure, like a deity, almost like a hero or even a god to people. So you can't just kill him off. Even if you develop some sort of super weapon that is capable of killing Godzilla off, you can't just kill him off before you kill off people's empathy for him. What better way to do that but parade around as Godzilla, committing horrible atrocities, killing people, at which point maybe Monarch or some other organization is like, shit, what the fuck, Godzilla's going crazy, we need to do something. What do? Hey, there's this monster over here on Skull Island, he's been chilling over there since Vietnam or whatever, but let's go get him. Yes, let's get him. And then they fight each other. Or possibly like Godzilla's waking up, the real Godzilla, at some point he wakes up, he's like, hey, what the hell's going on? And Godzilla, King Kong comes, smacks him in the face. He's like, that's what you get for my, killing me or hitting me in my boat ride over. Fuck you. So they start fighting. They have a real fight. And then second Godzilla comes in, and it's Mechagodzilla. And they're like, hey, what the fuck is this? It's like, I don't know, that's not me. Godzilla shoots him with his laser, reveals the fucking Terminator underneath. It's Mechagodzilla. Tag team, King Kong, Godzilla, kill Mechagodzilla, Royal Rumble. That's it. That's my analysis.
So that's one thing I want to touch on too.
One sec, Ring, before you get into it, I have a joke. I want exactly what you want, but I want Mechagodzilla to come out, and then King Kong and Godzilla look at each other, and then they fucking not Terminator, the scene from Predator where Arnold and I can't remember his name right now. They fucking handshake. And it's just their muscles. I want that scene with Godzilla and King Kong. Yeah, I want that scene.
For a second,
you son of a bitch.
Fucking Godzilla. What's the matter? Put too many years pushing pencils or whatever he said.
Yeah, I want that remade. All right, that's all I fucking wanted to say. Go ahead, Ring.
Okay, so there's another part of the trailer which caught my attention, which I'll point out in another review. There's a scene where Kong is fighting against two flying creatures.
Warbats.
Yes, something like that. What the fuck they are.
I believe they're called warbats.
Anyways, in the background, you'll see that the terrain he's fighting on is not like any terrain we've seen in any of the movies whatsoever. In fact, you see mountains upside down in the background. This leads credence to the hollow Earth theory, where you'll see that the monsters, the Titans in question that he's fighting, appear to be maybe native from that region, whatever it may be. Because if you remember in Skull Island, the monsters in question, the skull creatures, they came from under the ground and had fought with his own species for years and years and years and all that stuff. And what I'm thinking, based on this theory, which there's a fair amount of supporting theory behind this, is that Kong will then move from Skull Island to that underworld, I would say. Which, under the earth, there's another world, a land that basically time forgot. And I'm thinking is that at the end, if they do throw down with Mechagodzilla, then that'll be it. But I think that it's a possibility that Kong become the king of the underworld, right? Or the Hollowed Earth, while Godzilla maintains the surface.
That's interesting. I hadn't heard that. I did see how what you're talking about, how it looked like prehistoric and whatnot.
Yes, that's exactly what it was. If you look in the background, you'll see there's actually mountains from at the top.
But I hadn't noticed that.
There is no sky. It's literally mountains, which means they're in a giant fucking cave. I linked it a long time ago. I thought you would catch it, but apparently you did not. I think Obsolete did catch it. Or at least he saw the link to it, because I linked it to it at some point. But that does lead credence to it. That's why I said Hollow Earth in the chat that day.
Ah, now I get it.
Yeah. So that's an example of a running theory. And I'm gonna agree with you. That does look like Mechagodzilla in that first few seconds of the trailer. I think that Mechagodzilla will come at some point in a later movie. I think they're trying to gauge how much money is made with this film.
Oh yeah.
Under the current circumstance.
Yeah, I don't. If it does well, I can't foresee them giving
going
up on it.
Going all out with Mechagodzilla and stuff like that.
And I think the hype. I mean, they still got plenty of kaiju that they can work with. I mean, one of my favorites, Gigan. I'd love to see a redesign of Gigan. Gigan has been one of the most. He's one of the most menacing-looking kaiju in the entire Godzilla franchise, and he's gotten the short end of the stick. He was actually the first monster to make Godzilla bleed, and in his first confrontation with Godzilla, he actually drills his hook spikes right into Godzilla's head, doing major damage. But then for whatever reason, after the first film, the first film with him ends with him running, cowering, flying away from Godzilla, and Godzilla wins, which obviously Godzilla has to win. But after that, for some reason, they turned him into a bit of a joke. In Godzilla vs. Megalon, he teamed up with Megalon, and it's kind of like a comedic. That's definitely more of a kids movie, but Gigan, he no longer had the character to go with the menace of his look. And then Godzilla Final Wars, they made him look really badass. I mean, he actually looks cool as hell. He's got these like barbed wire grappling hooks and stuff, but he dies almost immediately both times. First of all, he fights Godzilla, fight lasts less than 30 seconds, Godzilla blows his head off and he dies. Then he gets resurrected with two new types of arms, which are like chainsaw arms, and he fucking blows his own head off. He shoots these boomerang like blades that come back and cut his own head off. So they've made him into a joke, and that pisses me off because I love Gigan. I think he's one of the coolest looking monsters there is. He's got a buzzsaw in his stomach. He's got two scythe-like hooks for hands. He's got a laser beam in his forehead. I mean, he's such a cool monster. They could do so much more. I mean, there's a world of kaiju out there. We haven't seen. I'd like to see Destroya again, although he was from the I believe the Heisei. I can't remember which one is the original, the Showa or the Heisei. But anyway,
I'll interject here. I think this is where the Hollow Earth will come in, because right now the creatures that are on the Titans that we are familiar with are all the Titans that are on the surface. But with the unveiling of the Hollow Earth or the underworld, right? It throws out a lot of possibilities of what can come next, because these creatures in the underworld have basically been there without restriction. They didn't have to sleep, they didn't have to chill. They're just there, which means they're free to evolve as much as they want, free to do whatever the hell they're gonna do. Because they had no restriction on where they went, and allows for a certain level of exploration.
They also kind of mentioned that in King of the Monsters when Godzilla was hibernating, and there was that whole Atlantean type environment, and then that crazy old guy was like, "Oh, Hollow Earth, that's how we got traveled down here so fast," and that super structure that got nuked. But which makes sense because for me, I was thinking more alien because obviously with Ghidorah, it's an alien species, not from this planet. So that makes a little bit more sense for the Hollow Earth being Earthbound opposed to aliens. I would assume at some point in the future there has to be something with aliens attacking because there were certain scenes behind King Kong where there was these weird spaceship looking things, and it doesn't look like government issue vehicles. It looks like some other super tech to be flying in the sky like that.
Yeah, like flying saucer almost.
Yeah. So it's some type of UFO. So who made that? Because it doesn't look military. And then for Kong, to give him an equalizer, they give him somehow he possesses this giant axe thing that can withstand the atomic blast from Godzilla.
Did you catch what the axe is made out of? The axe is actually made out of one of Godzilla's spinal spikes. The axe actually is one of his. I don't know if it's Godzilla's.
It's probably like an old Godzilla.
Yeah, it could be an older one, but yeah, it actually is one of the spinal spikes. That's what it's.
Fins.
The dorsal fins. Yeah.
There is confirmation that Godzilla was not the only one of the species, and because we know that there was other King Kong type creatures out there, so it does not go without a doubt that there were, trophies from past hunts and stuff like that.
Some Kong made a fucking axe. That's cool.
So that does not. It does not. It's not out of the question.
Yeah. Well, throughout the Toho series, the original 1954 Godzilla was a continuing theme, even to the point where in the Godzilla against Mechagodzilla, also known as Mechagodzilla 3, also known as Kiryu, was built out of the skeletal remains of the 1954 Godzilla. So it's definitely, who's to say if there haven't been previous Godzillas, like you said, Ring. So yeah. I want to hear from Val.
The trailer itself does lend to other Godzillas because there's one bit where there's the flying monsters coming down on Kong, and he's not on Godzilla. That's an actual shape of a drawing of Godzilla. That may be a previous version, because that spot right there could have been a part of the whole Atlantean thing where they just moved on. They moved to the areas. So there's a lot of possibility going on here with what was just showed in the trailer.
Yeah.
Val, you got anything you want to add?
When I first saw this trailer, like, a lot of things came into play. Like, they can go so many ways with this movie. I feel like they are slowly going to introduce the mechas. However, I don't want to say Godzilla himself is a mecha. I want to think that maybe somehow he's probably brainwashed and he's used to, I was mentioned like hold on, I lost my train of thought. Used as like to change people's minds. Like, he starts attacking people, and then they have to bring in Kong for some reason. I don't know. I just feel like they're slowly introducing the mechas, and yeah. I had a better theory about this, but I really just drew a blank.
It could be like some kind of teaser that they leave off at the end with. One thing I kind of wanted to revisit from our conversation last week, that was reinforced by Kong's use of tools with the axes. We were talking about the possibility of Godzilla versus Kong and the advantages that Godzilla has versus whatever advantages that Kong might have. I was talking about Kong's strength, that I think his strength is far superior to that of Godzilla's, because pound for pound, if you take like a silverback gorilla, I don't think there's any creature on this earth of equal size that's gonna fuck up a silverback gorilla. Silverback gorilla pretty much pound the shit out of anything that's more roughly equal its size. But another thing that we didn't take into account, at least I didn't, was that Kong is a primate. He's gonna be much more intelligent. Godzilla, for however badass he is, and I'm not saying he's stupid, obviously Godzilla himself has shown intelligence and reasoning, but Kong, I have to imagine, is that much smarter, especially if he is using, as primates have been known to use, tools. You know, we see him use that axe, so that definitely, I think, gives more weight to the possibility of Kong holding his own against Godzilla. So I just wanted to bring that up.
So
No.
also, I have a theory too, I guess. So you know how in the trailer there's that little girl that's close with Kong?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm thinking that she was on that ship with Kong when Godzilla attacked it. So now it's became a personal vendetta because maybe something happened to her, and now Kong's like, "Yo, that's my baby. My baby hurt her, and smashed." And then, plays into that. Like I said, there's so many.
Monkey smash.
Yeah, there's so many things or ways they can go about this. So I'm thinking maybe it's probably a personal vendetta too. I don't know.
No.
Or what if actually Godzilla somehow absconds with the little girl, and then Kong gets a phone call from Godzilla, and Kong's like, "I don't know who you are. I don't know what you want. If you want ransom, I can tell you I don't have money. But what I do have is a very particular set of skills." Nobody. I thought it was funny.
So like Taken almost.
Yes, exactly. Like that's like
You like Taken?
Good God.
it's like almost verbatim. Like what do you?
Yeah, that was the joke.
I just don't know what Godzilla would want with the little girl.
I don't know what Godzilla would want, but maybe Godzilla.
But also, do you think because of at the end of King versus the King, the last
Monsters?
thank you, with the head of Ghidorah, do you think that maybe the mecha would be Ghidorah? Because they have his head, so they could abstract DNA from the head
Basically,
and
be like a
I think-
prosthesis.
I think they use Ghidorah's head DNA to make the fake skin they put on Mechagodzilla.
yeah.
That's an interesting theory.
That's what I think. But hey, that's just a theory. An odds and ends gaming theory.
Copyright.
Thanks for watching. Wait, are we done?
I've expelled pretty much what I've got. If y'all
Okay.
want to keep,
There you
y'all got
go.
something else?
Well, I just have a few little tidbits.
Go ahead. By all means,
Um,
hit the floor.
Let's see. First off, Big Monkey gonna beat the shit out of Godzilla, and that's gonna be fucking cool. And I'm pretty sure Big Monkey gonna win. And I only say this now because I'm very sure that's Mechagodzilla. So now it's fine if Big Monkey beat Godzilla because that ain't Godzilla.
What,
The only
what
question
makes
I
you sure?
really do have, it's not. It's because I'm very sure. Anyway,
what
the
makes
only
you sure?
question I do
I'm
have.
genuinely curious. What makes you sure?
The fucking shot, that first shot of the trailer, the back shot of the mecha, everything you already said in the beginning. That's
But you said you're sure that it's Mechagodzilla disguised as Godzilla. I believe that, but I didn't say it with any kind of certainty. And you say,
I feel it.
okay,
I feel it in my Godzilla bones. Godzilla hard on that's pointing me in the right direction. But anyway, yeah, that's gonna happen. My only question is, where's Godzilla hiding? Where could he be? Maybe he's in that Hollow Earth thingy. Maybe he's
Turns
in
into a rescue
Hawaii
mission.
cruising.
Human trying to destroy him, and he's probably like, "Fuck y'all, I'm on vacation."
Yeah, he's probably on vacay, and then he gets a call from Kong, and then he's like, every time I try to get out, they pull me back in. And then he takes off his tiny sunglasses. I mean, his giant sunglasses, but they're tiny.
no, fucking Godzilla's like in the middle of like woods, fucking chopping wood.
Yeah, with a beard, with a giant beard.
Little cabin.
Yeah, I don't do that
Okay.
anymore.
Maybe he's at the Galapagos Islands with all the rest of the iguanas.
He's
Just
at
chilling.
he's at the cabin, and then Kong shows up with like Godzilla, and he's like, I haven't gone by that name in years.
Smoking a cigar or something like
Yeah.
that.
We
I
go,
haven't been gone by that name in a long time.
Your services are needed. I don't do that kind of thing anymore.
what you do now?
You're the only one that can.
And then he sees a picture of Mechagodzilla, and then you just
Oh,
hear the
my
Godzilla
beard.
theme go on, and he's like,
I love
all
it.
right. And with that, we end our Godzilla talk.
Yes.
What
I
else
got
do we
nothing
got?
else.
We got nothing else? We're
I
done?
got nothing else, but I know there is another big topic, but I'm not the one to take the reins on that one.
Rings, let's fill us in.
All right, so as some of you may have noticed, as of late, there's been some shenanigans going on the major news networks, as well as social media, about GameStop. Now, does everybody know that GameStop's been on the low and low for the past year, right?
Yeah, fuck GameStop.
Right. So, to say the least, yes. Now, recently, a new guy took over. It was Richard's name, Richard Cohen. It turns out that GameStop may actually have been massively undervalued in terms of their stock price. But in fact, there were several hedge funds companies that were invested in short selling the stocks of GameStop in order to make them go at a cheaper rate. But short selling to the point that they were short selling stocks that may have not even existed. So it brings a lot of questions to the legality of what they're doing. But for those who may or may not aware of what short selling is, short selling basically is the act of betting against a stock to make it so it can be cheaper and then buy it at a cheaper rate. For example, and I hope everybody's following. Let's say
You got the whiteboard out.
Yeah, basically, with the all the cups and stuff around there, like that one guy who does does all the stuff, like he just smashed all the shit throughout the stock report. Anyways, for example, say I want to short company XYZ, right? Which has a current price of $10. So I borrow one share from another company and sell it immediately at $10, right? I have $10 now, but then I owe my broker the one share that I borrowed, so it's $10. So let's say the price of XYZ drops to $7. I'll decide now to cover it, aka buy it back, my short position, and buy the share at $7, then return the one borrowed share to my broker. That means I made $10 when I sold, and I only have to pay $7 to buy it back lower. So my profit to me is $3. Now the thing is, this is where it gets fun. There were several people on Reddit who were, one guy actually, who was tracking what the hedge funds were doing. I think particularly was Melbourne Capital, and say, you know what, this looks really fucking weird because they're short selling stocks that don't exist. So let's fuck with it. So the dude goes back to Wall Street Bets on Reddit and says, hey, this stock is massively underpriced. I bet if we buy and force the price up, it'll fuck over the hedge funds, because what happens is if the price goes up, right, the stock borrowed has to be paid back at the current market price. So if they short sold it at $10, right, and now all suddenly it's $15, that means they have to pay up the additional $5 loss in addition to the original cost of the stock. So what happened was, I think earlier this year, the GameStop was priced around, like, we say $30 or something like that. It was relatively low for what it was, right? And suddenly a bunch of people, not companies, but people were buying stocks over and over again to artificially drive up the price of GameStop, to the point where the stock price of each stock of GameStop was now worth $350. Okay, it keeps going up every day. This has actually bankrupted the hedge funds that was actually trying to short sell the stocks in the first place,
because they were so confident in GameStop going under. So
right, So now they owe not on top of the old of the original stocks they brought. Now they have to pay back the current market price. There was another company involved too that actually lost money too. I think the estimated value of the money lost by those hedge funds is in the tune of like, I don't know, $30 to $70 billion.
Jesus
Because there are
Christ.
so many stocks were purchased, and the thing was the stocks that were being purchased by the everyday person using stock apps that lets you buy stocks for without any commissions. You don't have to go through any commission, brokerages in DC or in New York or whatever. You just go to your app, and the app handles it for you.
Well, and I had heard that apparently there were some overnight millionaires because of this, right? Just everyday people who became millionaires because of this. But it gets more fucked up from what. I'll let you keep on, but the story gets more fucked up from what I understand.
It does. Yes, and we're getting to that right now. So there were some people who held on to the GameStop stocks because, like you probably put out your Disney stock and stuff like that. People predict that they have the stock in question. So, say for example, they owned already like 300 shares of stock, right? And it originally was like what I said, like $38 or something like that. All of a sudden, it's $300. So times that be like 300. Like, okay, say 38, right? Times 300. That's $11,400 in value. Okay. And then say for example, each stock is 350, right? And it's that same 300. All of a sudden, those stocks are worth $105,000. People became from broke jokes to fucking they got themselves out of poverty. If you go to Wall Street Bets, you'll see people who actually paid off their student loans, paid off medical bills, actually got people the stuff they need because they got the fucking money.
The normal everyday people, though. This is not like your rich people. This is actual your average Joe. Why the fuck didn't I know anything about stocks?
This is something that you either interest or you don't. If you do have no knowledge, though, then you know how fucking amazing yet bad at the same time this can be. There are billionaires who are actually in support of this action. Chamath is a billionaire who has actually been very much against hedge funds his entire time being a billionaire, and has actually purchased GameStop stocks to drive up the price further to bankrupt those hedge funds. Now, hedge funds were actually responsible for the crash of 2008 and have been responsible for several recessions over the years. You've had these recessions and crashes that are supposed to be a once-in-a-lifetime experience for most people. But millennials specifically have had this situation happen like 4 or 5 times already. Over and over and over and over again at the hands of hedge funds. And a lot of times these companies just took no blame. They got off with it. There was no penalty for it. Now, with all this going on and they're being bankrupted, there are certain powers in the media, okay, as well as several powers that are within the Securities Exchange Commission, as well as potentially government powers that are saying that we should put a stop to this because we're okay with hedge funds doing this, but we're not okay with the everyday person doing this.
Basically,
AKA, rules for me, rules for thee, but not for me.
And basically, it's like, stop! Won't somebody please think of the billionaires?
Right, they can't pay for their several boats now. Yeah. Look,
it's fucking whoever I don't know, billionaires, whatever. But suddenly, whoever is part of one of these hedge funds now can now only afford 2 super yachts instead of 3.
Right, and the hedge funds. One hedge fund, Melbourne Capital, I mentioned earlier, went bankrupt already. They're done. But they got bailed out already today. No, yesterday actually. They got bailed out yesterday and already are broke again. They're bankrupt again. They declared bankruptcy twice.
But listen to this. So I was kind of trying to follow along with this story. Apparently one of the apps or services or whatever that was being used to buy up these stocks and whatnot, locked people out from being able to purchase stock in the GameStop and AMC and others because suddenly, normal people are getting rich. We have to put a stop to that. So basically, all of a sudden, out of nowhere, they started preventing them from being able to buy stock, which that is like the epitome of bullshit, man.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, there are some concerns for those who may be aware, this could cause market-wide instability because you have a certain outside force that doesn't care. A lot of people got these stocks off their stimulus. You know, they had the money lying around. Oh well, might as well throw it somewhere, right? And all of a sudden are inflating the cost of a stock because they got memed into that stock, which was GameStop. This whole thing is. There is now a new term floating around the Wall Street circles, and this term is called meme stocks because of this. And the thing is this whole behavior is literally unheard of. This is the first time in history that we've had an encounter of this situation like this. Now, and we're seeing government certain support from certain senators and congressmen from both sides of the aisle. Okay, newscasters, media people that usually stay quiet, fucking Sean Hannity of all people, Rush Limbaugh, AOC, you know, Senator Warren, all these people on the different sides of the aisle actually agreeing that these people should not be stopped. Let them do what they're gonna do, because if hedge funds can do it, we can do it.
And want to talk about a free market? Well, how there's no better definition of a free market than that.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, me personally, I did buy stocks of AMC. It went down a little bit, but I'm not worried right now. So I'm also riding this bandwagon too, personally.
Fucking, you're gonna become an overnight millionaire.
I don't know. We'll see what happens. That's the thing about the market. The market for years has been a casino. And a casino which boomers would play all day long and make their money that way, right? But suddenly you have these millennials and Zoomers, you know, jumping into the casino, and they finally learn how to game the casino. And the house is suddenly panicking, saying, "No, the house must win. We can't allow you to win because we can win." You know, all that madness.
Right. I was gonna say, I had the image of Ring actually becoming like an overnight millionaire, and like he opens his own YouTube channel, becomes one of those like douchey YouTubers who's like, "What's up, guys? Check out my $5,000 shoes. That's right, got my mansion here, living in the pool house." You know.
Now, I will say that, as I mentioned earlier, the media is heavily involved because news organizations are tied hand in hand with these financial organizations. That's where they get their money from. So you'll see a lot. You'll be seeing a lot of news in the next couple of days, where they're saying that these are irresponsible and uneducated people who are getting into the market. There was some news earlier today of this recording, which was on the 28th, saying that some of these investors were somehow connected to white supremacists in order to discredit the Wall Street bets. Mm-hmm. Also, in part, Biz from 4chan.
It's some bullshit.
Which is bullshit. You know, it's just another way to discredit. And I've been watching interviews on YouTube and places like that all day long, and you can see how hostile the news organizations are to this information. Like, for example, Chemath is on an interview, and the dude was just fucking like letting loose, like, these guys are irresponsible. What is this? Is this no research?
I have actually seen some of that. There's a Reddit forum called Public Freakout, where it's basically of people freaking out, and a few of them are about people getting interviewed. Or this one guy called it bullshit and said, like, you know, this is hurt. He literally said this is hurting the billionaires. Like he literally said this is bullshit. It's hurting the billionaires. Like, you cry me a river.
Yeah. And like I said, there are billionaires who are okay with this momentum that has been on. Elon Musk has been an outright support because he knows that hedge funds are fucking stupid. Okay, the concept of, because he made a comparison. I think it was today. You can't sell a house you don't own. You can't sell a car you don't own. Why you should be able to sell stocks you don't own either, that don't exist? Well, how can you do that? There's no common sense in this. And the fun thing is, like I said, a lot of these people who are doing it, they don't care if they lose the money. They don't. most people involved just put in $50 or $300, just for the meme. You know what I mean? And Wall Street can't comprehend of that because they're so used to being a single organization making this big thing here where hedge funds can just absorb the blow, but they can't at this point. By doing short bets, by betting so hard against a company, they are screwing themselves when this unexpected force arrives on the spot. In fact, there have been several companies in recent history who have actually went under and went out of business because of short selling by hedge funds. Good companies too. So to me, yes, it can cause market instability. Yes, it can cause problems. But guess what? They're beating you at your own game.
That sounds like with fucking, like you said, the crash of 2008. Sounds like the market's already unstable. So
yeah.
Why?
So but there are some other concerns too, because like I said, AOC, Senator Warren, Ted Cruz, they're all in support of the small investors, which is, for example, myself and the others out there who are doing their bit, right?
Yep.
There's also red flags because some apps just outright, like you mentioned earlier, they stop selling or allowing the buying of those stocks, which is criminal as fuck, as far as I'm concerned. But there's also support of finally looking to the investigative side of what are hedge funds doing? Is this even legal? Should they even be doing this in the first place? I am only concerned is that if some fuck ass senator or congressman or whatever inputs a bill that says you have to manage now the small middleman. That's my only concern. Stocks are a casino. That's all they are. It's amazing how stocks have such impact on people that have no real connection to the stock market. We've had companies go out of business because of some nonsense involving this. We've had nonsense caused by companies. Enron, for example, in Maryland, or all the housing and stuff like that, where they somehow destroyed whole sections of the economy just because they were trying to play the market a certain way. We all hear about the Wall Street crash of the 1920s or 30s, give or take. When it's all the robber barons and all that stuff back then. I do have concerns about deregulation on such a massive scale that allowed this to happen to begin with, like the short selling, abuse of the market practices, and so on and so forth. If these hedge funds and all these people lose all their money, it's because they brought that upon themselves. That's it.
Yeah, don't bet what you don't own or don't have.
Don't bet what you're not willing to lose.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the bottom line. If the little guy wins, if the little guy wins, the little guy wins. And that's my ring talk.
Very well put, actually.
You just been in the ring with Ring.
I like that. That's good. All right. Well, we are going on 53 minutes now. I think
so we got 7 minutes to burn. Okay.
No,
we go.
I was gonna say that I think we can probably wrap up, but if you legitimately have something, go ahead.
Oh no, I don't have legitimately something. I just like to make a nice round hour.
So what are you gonna do? Like, 7 minutes to burn. Be ba bo be ba bicky bo be ba bicky.
Actually, you know what? You ever notice how sea shanties been kind of making a comeback as of late?
I love.
Are you saying we're returning to a simpler time?
I love sea shanties. 50 men all lost at sea, all of them drunk except for me. 'Twas I alone to brave the storm, with nothing in sight to keep me warm. Yo ho ho ho, over the raging seas we go. Yo ho ho ho, wherever the cold wind blows.
Is this for your band, the Blood Jugs?
The Blood Jugs. That's Val's band.
No.
Hey, Val's here.
Yeah.
What's up, Val?
I like the sea shanty for the whole short selling situation, because it's pretty fucking funny. It goes like, there was once a stock that put to sea. The name of the stock was GME. Lights blew up, the shorts dipped down. Now my bully boys hold. So may the Tin Man come and our rocket to the sun. One day when our train is done, let our trains and go. And it goes off there. But She Santies have been amazing for the past 3 weeks. I've noticed more and more more She Santies come out, and it's just like, man, this is beautiful sing song. I just love it. It's amazing. Nothing.
All right, then.
No. I'm just saying, they're fun.
I like sea shanties.
I put the picture of the link in the Discord. You thought it was me roaring. It was really actually Godzilla.
What did you
It's
put?
in the,
You should
it's in
do
the
the
disc.
one with him blowing out the smoke.
Oh, you got the fire one too.
Yeah.
No, I like this one better. It looks funnier.
Okay.
Oy.
Is that your finger in the second one?
No,
No, that's just his mouth. It looks like you're like positioning his head, so
no,
like I
that's
thought that
just
was
his,
your finger.
that's just his mouth.
That's a hell of a jaw he's got.
Yep, that's Shin Godzilla, baby. Shin Godzilla.
I am not a fan of the
I
Shin.
fucking love Shin Godzilla.
I don't know. I don't dig it.
It's such a good fucking movie. It's such a callback to the original. That's so good. It's so good in multiple
No,
levels.
it doesn't feel right.
It feels better than right. It
Well,
feels,
that's the thing. I think it's meant to feel unnatural.
it's great. It's a Godzilla for our modern era, our new time. Yeah, he saw something of the old.
Nah, the arms just throw me off. It just fucking throw me off.
That's your fucking little baby arms, his little baby arms. That's adorable.
Nah, I can't
You can't
do
do
it.
anything
I mean,
with
that's
little
a
baby
T-Rex,
arms.
basically.
Little baby arms.
Yeah,
but look at his giant
that ain't-
fucking
That ain't
No,
no
tail.
Godzilla's always had functions of his arms. That's just part of the
That's not a guy in a suit.
So
I mean, or maybe it's a big suit. Huh? Yeah, but he has that giant fucking tail.
the arms just like basically just like the guy in the bodysuit didn't have that controlled arms. So it's just like down.
When he lacks an arm, he gains and lasers.
Yeah, he's got
And
a hell of a
laser.
fucking... Dude, Obs! You didn't tell me you had a Mecha Godzilla model. That's Kiryu.
That's fucking cool.
Yeah, that's Kiryu. That's Mecha Godzilla 3.
I need a mecha.
But yes.
I want that.
I've had that for a while. Got that from the now or extinct Toys R Us.
That's badass. Yeah, I don't
But
know what it is, but I've always fucking loved the mechas, especially Mecha Godzilla.
I remember being a child, a small child, and loving dinosaurs and thinking about robot dinosaurs when it was that thing. And telling some random dumbass at school how cool robot dinosaurs was, and he said, like, that's lame. And I was like, you're fucking loser.
I had a
Obviously, I didn't say
similar
that as a child,
experience.
but I was like, what a dumbass.
I had a similar experience actually with this when I was talking about RoboCop. I remember I was talking to a friend in elementary school about RoboCop, and these other like bully-like kids started. They had their own little clique, and they started like, he's talking about RoboCop. And like they started like giggling. I'm like, now I'm like, fuck you, RoboCop is badass. Like, fuck yeah, I'm gonna talk about RoboCop.
You should have shot them in the dick.
All right, how about we?
And on that note,
Yes, on the dick shot.
on shooting kids in the dick.
Shoot
Go ahead.
shoot the dick Saturday.
Shoot the dick.
just
Well-
one last tidbit from me is there's this new game that came out called The Medium. It's kind of like suspense, not necessarily suspense horror, but it's kind of giving me a Silent Hill vibe. And I got it. I think it came out today, so at the time of this recording. So I'm gonna try to. I don't know if I'm gonna live stream anything, but I'll probably try to record it and try and get that out there.
You reminded me of something else. I gotta get this out. I'm gonna leave with this, and then whoever wants to see us out can do it. But this is a joke I heard by Mr. Coffee, and I gotta repeat it. Let me see if I remember how it goes. What do you call a dwarf psychic who has just escaped from prison?
What?
Anybody?
Because you sent me the same one.
Oh,
I don't know what it is. What?
you call it a small, medium, at large.
I loved it. That was like the perfect dad joke.
It's terrible, but it's funny.
Such a dude.
Val, you haven't talked much in the past 15 minutes. Why don't you see us out since you saw us in?
Well, so that's it for the Shoot the Shit Saturday. I hope you learned a lot about the stock market. And
Hey, if you make
also-
money, you know, come spend some of that cheddar at our merchandise shop.
Oh yeah, I forgot. It's stimulus time. Hey, I know you got stimulus. All of us
God.
did. A lot of us didn't.
You finally got it?
I got finally, yeah. But anyway, I know you got it. And like the proverbial internet stripper shaking her ass, we're shaking our tail. Give us a little bit of that, you know. Just
We
drop
do
a dollar.
actually have an OnlyFans. Val has,
We have?
yeah, Val is aware of it, and you should be too. There's
Am I
nothing on
supposed to be
it,
putting content on there?
but we have one. I don't know what anybody.
I'll
wants to
put
do with it.
some fucking hot Godzilla action on there.
There you go. Do it.
All right.
Anyway,
Give me that login.
sorry to cut you off.
I forgot what I was saying. You cut me off.
He's really
It's
good at that.
Yeah, he loves cutting people off. It's his fucking forte.
But it's good. It's good.
I forgot. Legitimately forgot where I was.
Well, you were saying,
Hot
I was
Godzilla.
assuming you were going to mention about liking, subscribing, and sharing, and
I
just
feel like I was
doing
asking
it.
for people for money. I don't know. Send me Bitcoin. All right, bye.
So, like, share, subscribe, and if you're just as excited as we are about the new Godzilla vs. Kong, leave a comment. If you want us to talk about something, leave a comment. We always respond to our fans. Leave a comment. And like, share, subscribe. So I'm Valkyrie Grinder. And tonight we say goodbye. Espionage DB7.
The
go
highly
ahead.
rated, armor-plated, imitated, but never. I shortened it for you people. It's that much
Why
that
you people?
for you.
You,
What?
what do you mean?
You
people.
four. You four.
What
The
the
four of you.
hell, man?
The four of you.
This?
I'm grouping the four of you as a group of people. You people. I shortened it for
Wow.
you. The four of you. I'm looking at you, Ring.
I'm still. Wow.
What?
Names called
Oh,
and
no.
everything. For once, he's being well behaved, and you have to call him out like that. Shit.
He wasn't the one that said you people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm saying you people as in you four people.
Wow.
Where the hell did
I
you
don't-
people
I
become?
don't like where this podcast is going. I'm leaving.
Ugh. Well,
Was Nickolas
I forgot my
zombie?
Godzilla.
is he fucking? Is he
I'll be,
pounding
alright,
it?
now I'm leaving.
What a fucking dork.
Hey, what happened? you guys in the podcast?
This is
Come
the
on,
podcast.
Can we
that
end the
never
fucking-
ends. It goes on and on, my friends. We gotta stop sometime. And then, Obsolete 2003.
Yo, settle down.
And last but not least, Ringleader 064.
Stonks!
Thanks for tuning in, y'all. Bye.
Settle down.
See ya.
Bye.
Wash your hands.